Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about what about EK Ignite, specifically targeting some of the comments and DMs that I've gotten on Discord talking about, or people being actually upset because I have not mentioned EK Ignite as or on my potential league starter list for 321. And today I want to just talk about the build, what has changed, is it still viable in 321, what changes do we have to do to make it good again and stuff like that, or did anything actually change? And the reasons why I do not want to play EK Ignite anymore in the later stages of this video, basically. So let's dive into the kind of like patch notes Crucible thingy, right? What did change? Actually, almost nothing, okay? So there has no changes, or has been no changes to Elementalist, no changes to EK itself, no changes to Gloomfang or anything that is necessary or mandatory for the build. The only thing that will affect us in a small margin will be the changed masteries that we have, right? And there are like the Fire Mastery with Fire.multi is gone, is removed. But overall, I would say TLDR wise, we maybe have like a tiny little bit less damage than before, talking about like, I don't know, like 4 or 5% or something. Not taking into account that what we're gonna get with the Crucible Atlas passive tree. So I would say overall, this build's gonna be even better this league than it was before, just because of the power levels that we might reach, and we haven't even God, English, dude. We haven't even seen. It's not that hard. We haven't even seen what changes or what passive trees will affect the Ethereal Knives in specific, because we had a glance over some other skills. For example, I think like Elemental Hit and Wild Strike will be able to inflict all the alternate ailments, which is Brittle Sap and Scorch. We've seen that something like Freezing Pulse can poison, so who the hell knows what will happen to EK or what benefits we got out of that. Maybe we get some business extra notes in the Crucible skill tree, like who the hell knows, you know? But overall, it's still most likely going to be stronger than what we actually lose on the passive tree. Another thing that kind of changes overall is the mana reservation efficiency, since we did lose a little bit here and there. For example, I think like determination mana reservation efficiency is gone. I think discipline mana reservation efficiency is gone. But don't you worry, we still have a new one that is a 12% overall mana reservation efficiency. And I think it's kind of funny, you know, if people tell me like, yo, Reddit is crying about this and that and the masteries and blah, 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 and they're never gonna be able to restore, have any more mastery or like auras available, right? But I'm like, dude, you guys haven't seen that we have like a 12% mana reservation efficiency node that is like stronger than the one that we had originally? Like, how about that, you know? And overall, I would say absolutely no problem. So if you want to start EK Ignite, then please feel free to do so. I had like an amazing league start because it was my league starter last league, and I just can recommend this build every freaking day of the week, every second of the week, just because I had so much fun with it, and I think it's just overall one of the best builds I have ever freaking played in my Path of Exile life. Let's say it like that. I would even say, if you would tell me like, yo, MBX, you're only allowed to pick one single build for the entire league, what you gonna go? I would just go EK Ignite. Like, that is the thing, right? So don't you worry, and I think like this little bit of a damage loss can be made up with like an extra like medium cluster jewel or something, because we still lose the 40% effect of non-damaging ailments, and since we're Elementalist and we're having like a big portion of like cold damage and stuff, and fire damage obviously, but we're still going to be able to chill bosses and shock bosses, but the shock effect is actually the one that matters the most. But you can just substitute in like a medium cluster jewel with like overshock or some other nodes that will actually affect the non-damaging ailment, which shock is, to have like some pretty nasty shocks on that. There's the Max roll guide that I've written for EK Ignite is still valid to this day. I even updated it with a non-Headhunter version because the usual one, or the non-updated one, had a Headhunter still in there. And there you also are gonna have like all the things that you need to know about the build, about the playstyle, how to scale your damage, even how to craft all your gear and stuff like that. Everything here is valid. The only thing that needs to be updated is the passive skill tree with the new masteries. And what I will do that as soon as PUB gets updated, which is not the case as of right now. Good. Everything is fine. Might even be a lot stronger than last league just because of the Crucible trees. So now maybe the question like, why am I not playing it, or why do I not consider playing it, right? And the easy answer to that is, once I started playing EK Ignite, every other build that I played felt worse, okay? And I do have a problem with that, because for me, I think like trying out builds, creating builds, testing weird new items and shenanigans or synergies is what brings the most joy to me in this game. And the more I played EK Ignite, every other build just felt a lot weaker in terms of clear speed, in terms of like almost every aspect of the game. I started to compare not builds to each other, I just started to compare every single build that I played to EK Ignite. And if I remember correctly, last league it was my league starter, and I think I even farmed up my first like 100 divines with my league starter, which I think never happened before. And after that, I tried out several other builds, and after like 3 or 4 builds, I was like, you know, but EK is just better, you know, and I started to remake another EK Ignite, even though it was my league starter, right? So that is just like something for my personal enjoyment that I say, this build, I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, if I say it like that, but I have so much fun with this build, and I think it's just like overall like the best build that I've ever played. But that's the problem with it, because everything else just feels not that great anymore. And I still want to go with my roots and be like, yo, I want to try out new skills. I want to try out new ways of building. I want to try out the new uniques that we are not aware of, or we haven't seen in the Crucible League. And that's the reason why I personally don't want to go for EK Ignite. Another reason would be in the part of like content creation, if we say it like that. You know, I have been covering EK Ignite not only with a written guide, but also if you check out my YouTube channel, right, from like the preparations before 320 League, my league starter plans, my starter PUBs, the written guide, the FAQ from this build, you know, several videos with EK Ignite, going for full simulacrum, doing challenges and stuff. I think like I put out so much content for EK Ignite that I just want to start doing other build videos instead of covering the same build over and over again. It's like no hate now, right? But I don't want to end up like Pox, for example, that is dedicated Righteous Fire gamer and that is playing Righteous Fire since 1995, before Path of Exile was a thing. This was when Pox made his first PUBs with Righteous Fire, right? I'm not like that, and even though I really love this skill, and there has been many builds and skills in the past that I really enjoyed, but I still want to move on and try out other things, because there was a time where I didn't play EK Ignite, and this was a thing at some point, and that's why I enjoyed it. So I think there is many different other builds out there that might be giving me the same pleasure as EK Ignite, and that's what I'm trying to reach with the next league, especially once we see what other nodes do we have on the Crucible trees, which maybe gives us the opportunity to make builds that just have not even existed before, with some special perks on the Crucible tree. Good. I hope this helps you. Check out the max roll guide for EK Ignite. It's still everything up to date. All the videos that I made from last league, as I said, there has been no changes, so everything will go according to plan. You will most likely not feel any big differences overall. Maybe in the first like 2 or 3 acts or something, you're gonna feel a bit weaker because the changes of the like early leveling nerfs with like the vendor recipes and onslaught gone and this and that, you know. But overall, I think as soon as you pick up like Wave of Conviction and start igniting with the first lap, you should have absolutely no problem conquering the campaign as well as the Atlas and whatever challenge awaits us over there, I guess. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Quick little video about that, and see you in the next one.